Yeah, what's the deal, yo? It's your boy Talent. It is a Monday, a motivation Monday, as we say. Coming to you live this week from Atlanta, Georgia. Waiting for my partner to come in. He already informed us that we're going to be a few shakes late as far as him coming in, maybe no more than 10 minutes or whatever. That is Amir Silla, the king, the god, Amir. He'll be in here shortly. But in the meantime, nevertheless, the show goes on. We are here to motivate. I want to say what's up to everybody. I want to shout out the past few days because I got home last Monday. Just made it home in the middle of the night. From what I do is at this point stage of the game I break these things down into like blocks. When I'm going and come home and then a new block starts. So came home Monday. Uh, Friday, was it Friday? Friday a new block started. I wanted to say. Yeah, Friday a new block started. And so that Friday I had to go to Baltimore. So I want to shout out Baltimore first and foremost because KY Nelly, my boy out there, happy birthday. He had a birthday show and he called me to be the special guest to perform for his birthday thing. And I'm always super, super happy about stuff like that. I'm always, and here's, let my, what I'm telling you be a inspiration for you to look at things this way as well. When somebody asks you to do something, to be there for them and you be there, whether it's a paid gig or not, you have to be grateful and feel thankful that you got that call. Because God knows how many other people they know that didn't get that call. You happen to be the guy and say, you know what, I need him there. I need him on my birthday. I need him in the place to be in the spot. And I'm grateful for that. So KY Nelly, thank you for letting us hang out at the Motorcycle Club, Gentlemen's Club, which is, I love that venue. I've played that venue about 3 times over the years. Girl Stiletto used to host it. But they respect you in there. You know what I mean? And they take care of their people. So I appreciate you. Also, that night I got to meet my man right here, Catrice, who's an artist. He has a card that says art. You know what I mean? So the A says always, the R says ready, the T says to create. Always ready to create. So my man Catrice, we just had a phone call because I'm going to campaign him to do some more stuff. Reason why, he showed me his work. He's on the premises, right? So he gave me this Marvin piece on some gift promoting big fan thing, like, yo, I got this piece for you or whatever, right? So I said, dude, that's great. I said, yo, I will, I'm gonna throw business your way. I'm all about that. Speaking of throwing business all the way to somebody, before I left to go there, the week before, shout out to my girl Sharonda, because Sharonda did the same thing. She knew an artist down who's in Charlotte, I believe, Charlotte, North Carolina. And she commissioned him. She took one of my pictures, one of my favorite pictures, with my New York Jet jersey, commissioned him. He did a painting. She presented to me at Aruga's in North Plainfield at one of my shows. And I'm blown away. I'm blown away. So I thought that was fantastic and great. You know what I mean? So that was Aruga's with Sharonda. Thank you very much. He's already in the office. So when you see me broadcast from the office, you'll see it right behind me, if not hung up or whatever. So that's always a great thing. Second thing is, so Friday, I do that show, which was great. Get a chance to hang out with some peeps. Get up the next morning and get on the train and head up to Philly because I got to stay in Philadelphia for a show that's in South Jersey. And, when you flying out of Philly, it doesn't make sense to stay closer to the show. It makes sense to stay close to the airport. You always think about the next thing. So we go to South Jersey to Burlington. Very interesting. The promoter, top class, first class, grade A, handle his business A to Z, no quinks, no quorums, no interruptions, no lumps in the road, no speed bumps. Everything was perfect. 2 sets. We did a 7 and we did a 9:30. Shout out to the comics on that show because the comics rock with me. Tony Bird came out and did 2 guest spots. I had my girl Chanel Renee, who's just a fast rising female comedian I love. John Phillips, the incomparable Timmy Hall, Baltimore Police Department, blazing. And of course, my good friend and road dog, Aldo Laugh. Everybody ripped. 2 shows back to back. made it happen. They made their money. They kept it going. They did the damn thing. The highlight of the evening for me. So I got all this merch and stuff. This is not one of my merch. This is my girl. Shout out to Chanel Renee, because again, just came bearing gifts and say, yo, it's your 30th anniversary, right? It's one of those sippy cup joints, the metal joint. And I said, yo, underneath that 30th anniversary, she got one of my favorite pictures of all time. This is a happy ass talent. Tell me he's not motivated. Now, see, those puppies are about 8 or 9 weeks old at the time. We'll get back to that. Let me show you some more pictures. This is in Harrisburg on stage. God knows that there might be Harrisburg too. I'm not sure. Then she even took it back with my first Def Jam picture, a live picture from me on stage, HBO, Def Jam. And then this is me at the Apollo, another picture that I love. An action shot. They caught me coming up the stairs from the green room at the bottom, backstage at the Apollo Theater, cheesing, suit jacket on, everything to the nines. 30th anniversary. Now, let's go back to this picture. This picture right here. The reason it's one of my favorite pictures over time is, one, I'm holding two puppies that my first female, who's no longer with us, who passed away, Rosa Parks, she had one litter of puppies, 7 puppies. And that was the day of my cookout. I do a cookout called The Give Back in Mount Vernon for about 20 years straight. And this is the year she had the puppies, and they were about, they're old enough to come out, like 8 weeks or whatever they were. And I come out, and it's the early part of the day, so we're still setting up or whatever. So I got them out there, and people were like going crazy. And that day, 2 people in the park took those 2 puppies and gave them a home. It was a beautiful day. So whenever I see that picture, it brings back all these good memories. I bring all that up to say that's what it's about today on Motivation Mondays. One of the things I want to spew across the board today is we need to find those places. You want to stay motivated. You want to stay inspired. You want to stay, a go-getter and go after whatever your goals are and stuff like that. And you want to see, first thing is first. To get anywhere positive, you are definitely going to have a positive mind state. Now, to have a positive mind state, the trick is, what makes me feel good? What keeps me in a positive mind state? How do I get there? And it's stuff like that that reminded me when I looked at it, I said, you know what? I got to bring this to Motivation Monday, because there's times in every individual life that for whatever reason just brings them to a great place, a good feeling, if not a great feeling, you know what I mean? And that's what that picture does. So it makes me go back to other pictures. And because the other pictures, you may have put something out of your mind so far that is not there to tap into as easily. It may need you to be reminded to reflect. And that's what pictures do. That's why I always look back on my mom and my mom was super smart when she said, take these fucking pictures. Because they were coming in more ways than one. Now, with being in a state where you need to keep motivated and on top of your P's and Q's, pictures. So when I look at that and I look at those puppies, I remember that day because A, I love the puppies. B, I was proud of my dog, the mom. She had 7 puppies in the litter. I was just proud of the whole thing. And then more importantly, at the end, C, is that people went crazy over them. And that day, those 2 little puppies, a boy and a girl, they found a home. So that puts me in a good mood and state of mind, if you will. And that's what people got to do. Now, for you, it might not be pictures. For some people are better than me. Like, I don't expect everybody in the same mental playing field where they memory locks or they're too busy or whatever, can't bring it up. What I do know is that everybody has a way. Some people memory, like I said, is better than mine. Some people don't need the picture. Some people sit there and go, I remember 1997, blah, 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 whatever. But when you ever hear a person tell a story and when they talk about it, they start smiling and you can see the levity in their life change. Like you started very regular and serious. And then somewhere in there, you see the person like, yeah, and then we did that, and then my man came in, and then Teresa was there. And the more they're talking, the more levity. They're getting light, they're lifting up, they're smiling, maybe a chuckle, maybe a laugh, a giggle, maybe an eye looking to the sky. All of these little physical indications of this is taking them to a good place. So I say that to say, if you want to be motivated to do anything, and you want to do anything positive, or you want progress, find your space. Find your space that lets you feel that way you need to feel to get something done. Like, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Like, for me, one of the perfect things is this. One of the perfect things for me is in the morning, right? Coffee. Because let me paint the picture for you. I had to revert from a regular person who got up in the morning and did things to a full-time comedian who we didn't get up in the morning because we're out to the wee hours. So we get up 11, 12, 1, and start to try to reboot the day. Back to a guy that got to get up and do morning radio. Back to 10 years later, full-fledged comedy, don't have to get up on Friday that early, boom, boom. Transfer to the dog owner. I got a house, a family of dogs now. You got to get up again, take care of them again. So I've been back and forth on all things gate. So now we're there. We're at the ladder. We're at the got to get up, got the dogs, blah, 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 or morning flights or trains or whatever. So now to put me in my state so that I stay motivated on course and recollect what I got to do in a timely fashion, that's coffee for me. In the morning, that's coffee for me. That's me getting up, I take a sip, and depending on how early or how long the night before went, it may be 2 cups. However, when I sip it and the caffeine's going into the system, doing what it's doing, I'm getting to a place where I'm becoming motivated. Not in a goofy, happy, giggly way, but in a real astute, understanding, put my shit, ducks in a row, order type shit. So I'm like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I need to be here by doing this by this. I need to be doing this by this, blah, blah, blah. That's for me. Everybody's not a coffee drinker. We do know that. So for everybody, it's their thing. I know people that get up and they're morning people. So while we're rolling over and thinking about getting up, they done got some shit done. All you got to do, again, is find what place it is for you, how you get to that point to get things, the ball rolling, so to speak. And it ain't got to be a Monday. Today's Monday. We do Mondays because it's in America, it's the front of the week, the work week, and we try to give you that extra oomph and push. Welcome, King Amir. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, King? How's everything?
Everything is wonderful. Just to catch you up, I just recap my weekend. Shouted a couple of people out, and I'm basically getting on because this young lady, Chanel Renee, is a comedian, right? I've been working on a lot of stuff because I just love it. She's very funny, and she comes bearing gifts. Saturday, 30th anniversary cup. So
Ooh,
cup
nice.
right here, the metal joint. And this, look at the picture underneath the 30. This picture is me and my female dog at the time had puppies. And I came out, to go give back cookouts. And I came out early in the day with the puppies. And every time I see, that's one of my favorite pictures, top 10 favorite pictures all the time. Because when I see it, it brings me to a happy place because A, it reminds me of my dog. B, her litter, 7 puppies, all live beautiful, it's rare. And C, that day holding those puppies, found those 2 puppies at home.
Wow.
So, and I'm trying to tell the audience, the people listening to us, it's like, sometimes it's pictures. Everybody don't need, I need pictures because I'm doing more shit in a little bit. So I may need some pictures for memory, but a lot of people don't. Yes. So I'm saying find whatever it is you find that thing that reminds you of that good feeling, whether it's a memory, a story, something you did for somebody, something somebody did for you. Sometimes it's geographical. Sometimes it's a
Yes.
place. Sometimes you mention a place and people go, oh, Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we came in is to, we're talking about what is people's thing, for them to reach back, dig deep, find that thing that puts you in that place. Because once you get to that good feeling, now you can be productive.
No question. No question. Well, to catch everybody up, first and foremost, hello to everybody out there. I hope all of y'all are doing extremely wonderful. I know summer's coming to a close. For some of us, that's a little bit sad. For you beach heads, for you people who love the pool and love the heat. I know that's a little discouraging, but you know what? Hopefully it's been a beautiful summer. Hopefully you guys have done a lot of amazing things. Just to catch y'all up real quick, I'm still out here on the West Coast, as y'all can see, it's sun everywhere. I actually am in LA. I had the pleasure of going to D Nice's return to doing something live yesterday. He did this really dope concert at the Hollywood Bowl out here in LA, and I had the opportunity to go last night. All I can say is, it's always fun when you have the opportunity to see and do something that is the first of something. Never been to Hollywood Bowl, never been in a venue of that magnitude, and to see this man put on the show that he put on last night. He had Sheila E. He had Deborah Cox. He had Erica Campbell. He had George Clinton. Tank performed. Common performed. It was just an incredible show. It was 3 hours of everybody coming together from all over the country. By the way, I mean, it was people there from Chicago, people there from Houston, people there from New York, people there from LA. Obviously, just a smorgasbord of people from everywhere who have been a part of his club quarantine situation that he's been doing over the last year and some change. And we had all different age ranges and ethnicities. So that was pretty amazing as well, because you got a chance to see and enjoy all of these various age groups and whatnot. Because I seen even kids there who were enjoying the vibe and the energy of what he put on. So it was just an incredible event. But, to your point of what we're talking about today, and this is why I always encourage everybody, I know that there's quote unquote a pandemic going on or whatever everybody's calling it, but you got to enjoy your life. Look, man, if you're not traveling, if you're not finding your Zen space, it could be going to the beach, it could be going to a regular park every day, could be, it could be anything. But whatever it is, find it and enjoy it to the fullest, because I'm telling you, this beautiful journey called life, it goes by in a blink. I'm to show you, to show you how crazy this town. I'm there last night. I'm taking pictures. I'm just enamored by the whole spirit of the event. So the event is
Right.
over, and everybody's trying to catch up with everybody. So all you hear is, "Yo, yo!" I look up, Big Les. Go take a quick picture with her. What's going on, sis? I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. Hugs.
Right.
Everybody happy. I see Tuffy. He's 10 feet away from her. Go over, say what's up to Tuffy. Hug
Tough.
him. We laughing, cracking jokes. If y'all are familiar with Bevy Smith, the beautiful sister who does all of the award shows, and Chocolate Sister who hangs out by Red Rooster from Harlem, she was there. Chris Latt was there. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But what was so cool is everybody was around everybody and really just happy to see one another, and that made it feel like home. Even though we were all in LA, it made it feel like we were in New York. So for us, it was all of a New York feeling, but it was
Right.
dope to see everybody just caught up in, yo, good to see you. How's the family? How's mom? How's dad? Whatever, you knew about that person, you asked those questions, and it felt good to see them, give them a hug, shake a hand, take a quick flick and go, yo, man, we got to do more of this. We got to make sure we stay up with one another. We got to make sure we check in on each other. It just had that kind of energy and that vibe. And I can't express that enough, because for me, to your point about motivation, the last 3 weekends in a row have been incredible. Not good, incredible. But I'm
Right.
realizing that when you tap into that incredible energy, then you just bring more of that to the forefront. The weekend before, we didn't get a chance to do Motivational Monday. Mike Kaza, who's a very good friend of mine. I'm sure you're familiar with Mike Kaza from Def Jam days. He's now president of Atlantic Records. Had an opportunity to go to his house last weekend. This dude live out in Jersey, in the middle of God knows where. And when I say he just, opened his house up and was like, Amir, what's up, man? Why is it the first time you coming here? I said, bruh, when did I get an invitation? I don't just show up to people's homes. I understand all that, but we don't do that.
Yo,
You invite me, I will come. But if you don't invite me, I'm cool with it. I'm all right. But
you
I
know, I
say all
call
that
that
to
nigga Kaiser Soze.
yes,
I
yes,
call him Kaiser
exactly.
Soze.
Yo, exactly, T. I tell people that. I said, because nobody knows how dope Kaza is and really what he does. You just know him and you're like, yo, that's Kaza. You be like, wait, that's Mike Kaza? Mm-hmm. He's
Kaiser
in the
Soze.
script, incognito, Kaza Sose. I say the same thing. So, these weekends back to back of all these beautiful things just shows me that once you tap into that energy, once you tap into that space that allows you to just feel great and to know that everything that you're doing and how you're going about your life is amazing, the rest of it doesn't matter. And I think that people have to really understand there's going to be bumps and bruises. There's going to be stuff going on. There's going to be bills to pay. All of that. All that's going to happen. But so what? So what? You still got to keep, finding ways that make this journey called life worth it. And like I said, last night's concert, oh my God. I wish I could have brought all of y'all with me, truly, so that y'all could have been there to experience that. And just to see, like I said, everybody from all these different walks of life partying together. I saw Caucasian people, I saw Indian people, I saw Asian people. They had on D-Nice t-shirts, sweatshirts. People had on their official tags that they've been using in club quarantine. It was dope. I was like, now this is what I'm talking about.
Now, where was it?
This is what it was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh,
There's
I
a
love
place called the
Hollywood
Hollywood.
Bowl.
Yeah, I'd never been there, T. That was the first time I ever went. That spot is incredible, bro. I
I
was like,
love, let me tell you something. I love the Hollywood Bowl, bro. The last time I was in the Hollywood Bowl, this is years ago, Clef is performing.
ooh,
And Clef, if everybody out there, if you have not ever seen Wyclef live, I always say this. Let me back up. I always say, first of all, it's a good to talk about because it's super motivating. But I always say this: in hip hop, even R&B, like there are certain groups and artists who are their performances. It transcends performance. It's something special that you must see in your lifetime. Clef's in there. Dougie Fresh is in there. Run DMC, when they was out on dates and everything, they were in there. It's certain groups and certain artists, when you go like a Angie Stone, like a Jill Scott, like these artists that they just transcend just because we go to perform. God bless the dead, DMX, Heavy D.
yes,
There's these artists that when you go to see them, they transcend the average performer. And Clef, I'm in Hollywood Bowl, and us in town, I forgot how we ran into each other somewhere out there. He's like, yo, come through, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. So I come through. Sure enough, they expecting us. We come up and the certain gate you come through, you come right on the side of the stage. You're not even out there with the people. And I'm just on the side, and, he's saying shit and shouting me out, and at the end pulls you out and to jam with him and all this shit. And he's telling the story, the Fugees album and the Wyclef album. This is my dude, talent. If all the skit shit y'all love and laughed at on the Carnival and da-da-da-da. And he did all that shit, like big up me. But at the same time, he never stopping, skipping a flow of what he's out there doing. And bro, I was just like, I felt like that was my lifetime's Bob Marley mixed
yes,
with whatever top R&B motherfucker, Prince or whoever. I felt like it was that mixture, that fusion, that blend of my lifetime. And I'm just looking at this dude because I know the goofy Clef. I know the you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but to see him out there in this element, I was like, yo. So the Hollywood Bowl is probably, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a West Coaster and you've never been to a show there, probably one of the best venues to see a show, especially
Yes.
with good weather. Good evening.
Yes. Yo, incredible. Well, look, at one point, obviously because D Nice is from New York, he said, "Look, we got to have a moment of silence for Biz Markie." He said, "I want everybody to put their lights on." For anybody who's not familiar with the space, I hear it holds something like 1,800 or 18,000, 17,000 people, however many people it holds. Yo, to see that place lit up like a Christmas tree with all those cell phone lights, bruh, to honor Biz last night. When I say that probably is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. And, obviously he threw on uh, uh, You Got What I Need. The whole entire audience sang the song. Like everybody. It wasn't like one person in there who wasn't singing. I was like, man, listen. If like you said, if you have an opportunity, I don't care who it is, who your favorite artist is, and they say that they're playing that space, please do yourself a favor and go and check it out. It is one incredible, incredible experience. I kid you not. Not to mention, you can bring picnic stuff. Like when I say it's a dope setting, it's
I'm
super
telling you, the
dope.
setting is amazing. It's
It's
amazing.
amazing. Yo, the last person we met though when we was leaving, we met the dude Spice Adams. Talent, super, super cool cat, man. Had us in tears. I was just super down to earth. He was like, "Yo, man." He said, "I'm just, thankful that you guys really appreciate what I said." Nah, brother, you've been entertaining everybody for, a couple of years now with your skits and everything. I said, "Brother, it's truly nice and an honor to meet you." And he said, "Man, listen, I'm just thankful that you guys respond, man." And I was like, "Wow." So that's why I said it had that kind of Zen energy to it, that kind of feel, and you just couldn't beat it. And then today, the reason why I was so late, um, visiting one of my lady's friends out in a different part of LA, but literally we were staying in a hotel where the Staples Center was right behind the hotel. So we went. I took mad pictures at the Staples Center. I was like, "Look, I'm taking pictures with everything. Every statue that's out there, we taking pictures. I don't give a damn, man. Whoever it was, they was out there. I took a picture, and I was like I said, just happy to be out here. The weather's incredible. This is inspiration to me because, to be honest with y'all, I never thought that after my brother left this beautiful state, years ago, that I would come back and frequent it as much as I have, and to be on this side of the country like I am. For those who know, my brother, and like I said, if y'all really have been following Talent now, y'all know this. Part of our bond has to do with the West Coast. I want to go to Venice Beach so bad, Talent, and find the house, just 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 for what you call it purposes, but they have no idea the birthday parties, the Venice Beach, and all the time that we really put in bonding and getting to know each other and really building the relationship that everybody sees, is so genuine between the two of us. It started way back then, and this gentleman here, man, like I said, he hasn't changed not one iota in all those years. And
No, but we're a different generation. Let's talk about generation, right? When we talk about generation, we have to talk about different we were. Ladies and gentlemen who are 40, 40 and up, they move different. Well, we had a lot of friends who were very prosperous, whether it was sports, whether it was music, whether it was art. But what we did with those elections is jump on and act like type of vibe. You got people that making the nails. I'm just gonna move. And we didn't do what we did. Was we appreciated what skill was and those topics was, and for the most part, most of us trying to figure out how we could use it to manipulate us doing something, whether that was a podcast, or a show, or whatever. That's where we came from mentally. Now, when you have this generation, those who are close to those people are more so. They a lot of them like their own thing. They just tell them to join us step on. And I think that's another thing we got to reach back generationally and grab those people from the next generation and say, "It's a productive way. Here's a better way of doing this. You're around this thing. You have what we call access."
yes,
You have access. must maximize the potential of said access.
Yes.
Access to be just around. You know what I mean? Like you must figure a way to access, use the access to access other shit. That access get more access. Correct? Access should get more access.
Yeah. No,
You know
you
that?
absolutely. You're absolutely right, man. I think that the one beautiful thing to me about where, like you said, where we are in life now is the not only do you have access, but I think people have to understand the building of relationships. Yesterday, as I said, what's up to so many people, like I said, who were New Yorkers who had come out just to be a part of this first situation that D Nice is doing, because he's got two more. He's got one coming up in Brooklyn, and then he's doing another one in Atlanta. But everybody who I met or bumped into yesterday said the same thing. It was like, Amir, I wanted to be at the first one. It was like Brooklyn's probably gonna be dope and Atlanta's probably gonna be fly, but they was like, it's not gonna be the first one. They was like, we were at the first one. And I was like, you know what? There's something to be said for that. And I think that, when we start, like you said, taking into account two things, now that we're at a stage and at a place where we can enjoy life in ways that hopefully are beneficial and put you in the energy and the space that you need to be in. But then secondly, like you said, gain and maintain those friendships and relationships, because you have no idea how 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, or later than that from now, you're going to be looking and smiling and saying to yourself, damn, we've known each other that long and nothing has ever changed. We still continue to be the same people. We still continue to treat each other as kindly as we could treat each other. We still continue to support each other and cheer each other on and pour into each other the ways that we could and should. And that
Right.
is where everything becomes full circle. You know what I mean? Chris Latt, I was taking a picture of something, and Chris Latt walked like right through the picture. Yo, so the New York in me was like, yo, mother. And then I looked up. Oh, what's up, big bro? Yo, my bad, son. You was about to get it though. He said, that's why I did it. He said, because I knew you was focused. He said, Amir is super focused on this picture. And if I walk through it, I promise you it's going to piss him off. Yo, I was ready to go off. Then I look up, oh shit, what's going on, big? He was
He's
like,
an
yo, what's going on,
asshole.
baby? Yeah. He's like, what's going on, baby? But like I said, person after person who we had the opportunity to see, like I said, who's industry or not, it was all the same thing. It was just like, yo, what's going on? How you been? Look at you, man. Why is this the first time you coming out here? I'm like, yo, look, I didn't know all of y'all was out here like this. First off, I said, and secondly, I wasn't traveling like that. I said I just started getting into trying to get back out and be seen and all this stuff. They're like, yeah, all right, whatever. So you got to laugh at all of that, T, because to us, we taking this with a grain of salt. I'm not here, trying to big up anybody. I spoke to Lord since I've been out here. He's doing something tonight. He was like, Amir, if it wasn't a charity event, I'd definitely have you come through. I said, well, don't even worry about it, brother. Do what you're doing. You and I'll get an opportunity to link up somewhere in here. We'll
So
figure something out.
Where's he at?
He's in LA. I don't know exactly
Okay.
what part because I'm not sure where Homeboy stays. But I know tonight they're doing a big charity event for Haiti, and they got Ced the Entertainer, they got DL Hughley, they got George Lopez, the comedian Malik something. I know who he is.
Malik
I don't
S.
know.
Yeah, Malik.
Yeah,
He
him.
opens for Cedric, and he's the writer for the show. Malik
Okay,
S. That's
so
my boy Malik out of Florida.
yeah, so he's on it. He's on the bill, and then I think they got one or two other people, but it's for Haiti. So they're doing this whole big charity thing for Haiti.
I
The
love
ticket's like
that.
$1, somewhere between $1 and 500, and it's at the Laugh Factory, I think, or something like that. So I was like, oh, that's nice. But they got what you call is going to be on the ones and twos. Lord Finesse is going to be on the ones and twos. So I was like, that's dope.
Nice.
That's
I
dope.
was checking him out earlier today. But it's this. I got to get to LA, and hopefully in the next 2-3 months, I definitely God willing, we get a grasp on things and they ain't so hectic. Where they actually can function a little bit, because right now they're probably one of the least functioning hot
Yeah,
spots.
situations.
Yeah. So, hopefully I see, positively thinking in the next 2-3 months, get out there, see some folks and get it popping. But I will say this about the West Coast and LA and Cali in particular. When it comes to entertainment and going to see people or going to events and stuff like that, that's some of the best places. You know what I
Yes.
mean? They have some of the best places, like you mentioned, like stuff like that. Is like we have them, but are they as accessible and as well known? A lot of them no. You know, you got to be damn near a Brooklyn night to really be familiar with Coney Island's amphitheater. It's a dope
Yes.
amphitheater. If you're not a Brooklyn night, you wouldn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that all over New York because we know New York. Nobody got more places than New York. It's just about being very popular, astute, and one of those ongoing places that people are used to patronizing. But
Yes.
I do love the places in LA because all that's close knit. When you talk about LA is a different animal than California per se. That's like when we talk about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a different animal than Pennsylvania per se. Same thing with Chicago. Different animal than Illinois per se. Atlanta, different animal than the rest of Georgia. So, and that's shout out to Atlanta because that's where I am now. Um, Speaking of positive thing, I got to shout out my boy Odell and his people that had this thing out here, bro. I went to a thing last night because I end up coming out here day earlier than I originally scheduled. One thing moved date wise, so I was like, you know what? Let me go jump on this opportunity to get this out of the way. And when he found out I was coming, Odell's a very funny dude here in Atlanta. And he was like, oh, bro, I got this Sunday night thing come through. So I'm thinking it's some little fucking room, tell some jokes, have a drink. And the shit says comedy ATL, bonfire, ATL, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever. I'm thinking it's a nice little spot. So I'm like, I text him and go, hey, bro, question. What time should I really hit that? I know it say 10 on the flyer, but I'm a real time dude, so I don't get somewhere too early. He's like, no, pull up at 10. He said, because of parking. And I'm like, okay. So we pull up 10 to 10. And sure enough, bro, these motherfuckers got to be making $200,000 on parking. Like, they got all the lots locked down. And the closest ones to the entrance of the thing, the closest is $60 to park, right? The next closest is 40, which is where we took a little walk to the door. Or if you go way down, it's 20. So I'm like, these motherfuckers got this shit worked out, right? So we get in there. Now we see all the cones, the security, all of this shit. We're like, oh, where the fuck are we at, right? We go into this parking lot, bro. It's got to be 30 fucking vendors. From everything you need from weed to chicken wings. From cigarettes to jewelry. And then that's all outside. There's a big bonfire lit in the middle of the shit. Gives it the look and appearance. When you go inside, you're actually inside what seems to be a warehouse. It's a big brewery. So you're in this big brewery with a stage set up. So we're like 10, 15 minutes early. So you're still on the sound check because a band's going to perform. It's a big ass warehouse, Amir. They only got about 20, 25 fucking chairs set up for people to see. Everything else is standing room. Big ass bar. So we go there. We post up at the corner of the bar, stay away from everybody. We got our drink, chilling. And we're watching this shit just turn into this, whatever. I don't even know how to describe it, bro. This shit was epic. It just starts getting, everybody's coming in there. The DJ's rocking. People start filling in those little 20, 25 seats. Shout out to my man, Kelly Kells, as we came out to check it up. So we're all in there, we're sipping or whatever. And then walks Odell, and he starts the comedy show. Aldo with me, John Phillips is with me. There's a couple of Chicago comics, another local dude. So he brings, everybody up one by one doing their thing. And then at the end, I go up. Totally different experience from anything you've ever done. We do it, we come up, we go down, we make our way out. Now, from the time we came in, when we go outside, that little whole vendor shit with the 20, 30 vendors is crunk as hell, right? I'm like, no. I'm like, this is dope. This is dope. I mean, we're going to leave because this, we came in, we flew in today, so we don't have the energy to close this bitch down. But we had a good time. We out. I get to the exit gate. No bullshit. Somebody's yelling out, Troy, my middle name, Troy, Troy. So I'm like, the fuck? I told there's a food truck with a young lady I know from fucking Mount Vernon.
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
no. Now I got to stop talking to security because I'm dapping them as leaving. I go back over to Shorty, what's up? She's like, Mount Vernon, baby, we're in the house. And I'm like, that's what's up. So I look at her thing, a little menu. I'm like, oh, she's selling fish and hush puppies and all that. And I'm like, damn, when I tell you we just ate we found a soul food. Shout out to that spot, BQE, Bronx Queens Expressway Lounge. That goddamn food, bro. We full. It was only maybe an hour before, hour and a half. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, yo, I don't want you to think that I'm leaving or not. I'm going to make a donation real quick. Boom. I said, fellas, give her a little tip so I'll make a donation. Even though we just ate, we got to support this from the hometown. And, we dapped it up, said what up, whatever the case may be. And, we got out of it. We in the car, we driving. We like, this is something else, bro. But then we get here. Now we're in the safe confines of our room at our hotel. It's edible time. So we do our edibles, we sipping, we talking shit, we fucking with Aldo, because he's fucking high. We can. We have a good time. We do this shit to, I don't know, 2:30 in the fucking morning, bro. And we lay it down. But go back to what I said in the beginning of the show about finding that place that make you motivated. Certain people I've seen throughout the night, seeing James. I haven't seen James. Kelly, Kels, and James, two of my favorite people. And they moved out here to the A. They got the kids in a better situation. Everything's going good. It's going good with his job. It's going good with her job. So to see him, he was one of those faces and them energies that make me go boom. Now I'm up. You know what I mean? And now you're inspired all over again. You feel a certain way all over again. It was a great thing. So shout out to the bonfire out here, ATL. Here's the thing. They do this shit. Last night was Sunday, bro. They do 10 to 3 a.m.
Wow.
10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Sunday.
You know what? It leads to, not only, like you said, being motivated by these kinds of things, but we also got to understand that your vision is your vision, guys. And I can't say this humbly enough. Even if you don't think somebody else may support it, they think it's a great idea. That's neither here nor there. What is neither here nor there is that it's going to work, that that it's dope, that that it's something that is needed for the bigger picture. And the more you jump on it and the more you get those things really situated, you'd be surprised at the stuff that it can turn into. I have, like I said, through the grace of all of you beautiful people, become a face and a voice that I didn't even think was possible. Like I said, I love talking, but that's to, my immediate circle and just, enjoying myself in that regard. So in Lord Finesse's world, they've dubbed me a new name. So I was the communicator. Now I've been officially called the jeweler because they was like, them jewels Amir be dropping, son. Y'all not gonna get those anywhere else. So
that's dope. The jeweler?
So the jeweler. So and the funny thing about it is somebody in his circle named me that. So then Lord Finesse, he dubs everything. He was like, that's the new one. He was like, he's still a communicator. He said, but the jeweler's even doper. He said, I love that. So now that's the new thing. So now that's the new one that they calling me. They're like, yeah, the jeweler. They was like, that's fly. So just, like I said, man, I'm mindful and thankful to your point about embracing, all of the beautiful things that are happening and really just, drinking it all in. You can't, you can't prepare yourself for the beautiful things that will belie you once you really step into whatever beautiful thing you bring to the world. Like I know sometimes it's hard for us to kind of fathom that and to really understand what that might be. So we seem like we're floundering around and flopping. You're not. You're just really trying to fine tune exactly what it is you do. And the more you fine tune it by your thoughts, by the words and things that you say to yourself, the stuff that you drink in from various avenues and things that are around you, find motivational sayings if that's something that drives you. Quotes, whatever it is. All of these things are beneficial and are monumentous to helping you get to that space that you want to be in, that you need to be in, so that you can really, like I said, just open up to the world and allow the world to give back. I got on the Clippers jersey. Y'all can see it. So I got the Clippers jersey on. We sitting in the hotel lobby, and a gentleman who's working in the hotel, he could see the back. He comes over, he says, "That is a really, really nice jersey." He was like, "Official, official." So, I said, "Thank you." I didn't, go into any great detail. He said, "I've got the Sam Cassell one." I remember when Sam Cassell was playing with him. So, all I could do was
Wow.
smile. You know what I'm saying? See, all I could do was smile. I'm like, "Salute, sir." So it just made me laugh because, people know and they don't know. So I'll just be like, it's all good. I'm here to just, try to do my best to ensure that as this thing carries forth, we all are just, like I said, connected. And the connection has more to do with the winning.
But
We
here's
stress
the thing.
this.
Hold on, to
Mhm.
cut you off, but because about 4 minutes, I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to leave you the last 10 minutes of the show since you missed the first 10 minutes. But
Okay.
to go through your case of things, right? Define those things. To me, it's about the word is focus. Like, and what makes you focus are different things. For me, reading. I'm shout out to Sharonda. Growing up X, right? She
Hmm.
always she always keeps me in mind because I like to read. So Sharonda will she loves to read. She'll get something for herself, and then she'll be like, you know what, yo, any books out there you haven't read, you heard about, whatever the case may be. And even if I have a couple, she'll get them. But she may have a couple. Go, yo, you need. I think you love this read. This is, one she sent a while before that I'm just getting around to cracking open. Um, and this is my girl, Ilyasa Shabazz. Shout out to her, my former neighbor, money earning Mount Vernon, Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz's daughter. They had a bunch of girls, and Ilyasa is one that
Yes.
we kind of got close and stuff like that over the years. Another one, the Reverend, you heard me talk about this guy a long time ago, who did the services when my grandmother passed. Come to find out, he followed his path of being an author. Reverend Edward Moraine. I read The Gathering of Gethsemane was one of his books. Now I'm doing this one, The 10-Step Man
Mm.
by Edward Moraine. And you talk about a motivating book, pointing out all the factors that you and I talk about and bring up week after week. These are two good reading pieces. Now, for me, again, you may not be like me. I know that for some people, see, I got different things. I don't have one component. I know that reading puts me in a place. I know that films put me in a place. And I know that music and comedy puts me in a place. Those are four things. They put me in four different spaces, but all four spaces are motivating and inspiring. It's very interesting because it's not that one thing like, people motivate you, oh, I just do this. It's not one thing. It's not one dimensional. It's 4 or 5 dimensions, but they all equally inspire and like lift me up and put that goof and that go-getter shift that I need to go to do whatever it is I need to do to stay motivated. Music, again, how many times you drive in your car? Depending on what the hell you bump into those speakers, change how you fucking drive it. Like, dude, if
Yes.
you're playing slow jam, if you drive totally different than if you're playing house music or some
Facts.
fucking fast West Coast gangster shit, right? But fucking 112 on, you're stopping at every
Smooth.
stop sign, right? You're looking both ways. You let the old lady cross. You do all that polite shit because you're in a different space. Same thing with a book. If I'm reading a book and depending on how well it's written, my antennas go up. Sight, some of your senses get heightened. You know what I mean? In the middle of the book, same thing with an intense film or television program. So how many times have you watched a certain type of documentary that fucking starts a buzz in your brain and gets you in a different direction? So, like I said, movies, film, TV, books, music, and they even comedy. Like we were in the room, we were talking about comics in the room a few minutes ago, and when it got to Badu said, okay, well, if you had to pick one, Robin Williams or fucking George Carlin, I'm like, I said, I would rather not even choose that. Like, because they're two different funnies.
Yes.
One guy is funny, but dropping jewel funny. And then one, it's almost like DL or Cedric. I'd be like, I'd rather not choose. One guy has a different set of humor than the other one. Now, if you put people with similar styles or whatever together, then maybe I could choose better. But that was too far fetched for me to even take a try. I was like, bro, I don't know what to tell you right here. Nevertheless, these 4 or 5 things are all inspiring, uplifting, and motivating to me. What's yours, people? Find yours.
Yes, yes, that's paramount. Like, you know, the and here's the thing. Please don't believe that you have to use the same inspirations as someone else. Something that inspires me. Like on this journey, we drove from Vegas to LA. So, when you do those kinds of drives, you get to see the countryside. And there are moments when you're looking at the mountains, moments when you're looking at the sky, moments when you're looking at all kinds of varying things that to you are beautiful, are amazing. And if you can catch a picture of it, you'd be surprised at how amazing that is to somebody else. On the drive out to LA, I'd never seen this. You only hear about this, obviously, if you watch the news. We drove past one of those brush fires, where they be
Wow.
having the brush fires and the planes come and they drop the stuff on the hillside. So it was crazy because it was traffic because everybody who was driving by it was trying to film it or get pictures because they were like, "Yo, this is crazy! Like I never seen this before." But to me, it was motivating, but it was also at the same time like, "Wow." Because you only hear about it. You don't
Yeah,
get to always see these things. When you living on the East Coast, you hear about it, but you're like, whatever. But to see it physically was like, there's nothing there. It's just the hill burning and bushes and things like that. But you still like, why and how does it catch fire and it's just burning for no reason and all these other things. So between that, like I said, going to the Staples Center today, the hotel that we stayed in, the Marriott, and there was another hotel that were connected to each other. I forget what the other hotel was. Didn't realize those two were connected. Um, the varying, like you said, music, comedy, movies. There's a show that I started watching. It's terrible. I'm gonna tell y'all from door it's horrible. But if y'all haven't watched Bruh yet on BET Plus, you know how they got sisters. They got one called Bruh. I'm telling you, the writing is terrible, this, that, the third, but it's funny as hell to me. The son and the moms are yo. I can't stop laughing. I binge watched it over 2 days. It's something like 20, and they're only 16 minutes long, like the episode, so it's not super long. But I've been watched it, no lie, talent over like 2 days since I've been out here. I can't stop watching it. It's a car crash,
that's
but it's
hilarious.
hysterical. But it's hysterical to me. But it does
That's
have some good stuff in it, and I think and that's something else that we have to learn, that is motivating as well. Whether you're listening to music, whether you're looking at pictures, reading books, and all these varying things, look for the information and the jewels in there for you that you can hopefully then impart on someone else. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to understand it, see it, go through it the same way that you do or the same way that
right.
you have. But the point is, you now have those nuggets in your toolbox for when opportunities present themselves to share that, you can now share it. That's a very, very poignant part of motivating people and yourself. Because one of her girlfriends who lives out here, she used to live in New York for a while, but she lives out here. We had an opportunity to have lunch with her today and she's doing big things in commercials. She's been in a Chase commercial. She's getting ready to be in a new Toyota commercial. And she was in another, and she was on Orange is Black. Orange is the New Black for a second. But she's out here. She's an actress. She's a model and so forth and so on. And she's like, it's hard. But she was talking about how having a project puts her in a space to be able to move from one project to the next and have resources to stretch out that time frame. Talent, you're more familiar with that than those of us who have 9 to 5s and may have regular jobs. But as I was talking to her, because she was like, Amir, I love hanging out with you. She said, first of all, you always look the same. She said, I can't believe you're 52 years old. She was like, I swear, she said, I met you because she named the year we met. And she was like, Amir, nothing has changed except for the salt and pepper. She said, but you look exactly the same. So we were laughing about that. But I was telling her, I said, that's because in all fairness, I said, I try to be in the same energy and in the same love space that I'm always in. I don't switch that up for anybody or for anything. Does that mean I don't have moments where I'm frustrated, where I'm upset? Of course,
No,
I
no,
have
no.
that like everybody else. But the big thing I try to do is not stay in that energy. It's okay to, take a moment, be frustrated by something, be upset by something, but don't stay there because as I've shared with you guys time and time again, I can't think of any time in my lifetime where when I was upset, mad, or frustrated, anything good has ever happened to me. All the good stuff has happened to me when I was feeling good, when I was in a mind frame and a mindset to, oh my God, this person over here won or did something great. Let me celebrate them. In turn, that energy seemed to come back my way with somewhat of a boomerang effect. And then I was able to accomplish something, able to get something done. So I always implore you guys, take those moments, sow into the people who are sowing into you also, by the way. Please,
That's
that's
your 6 minute
encouraged.
warning, brother. Get him,
Yeah.
get him, get him.
Sow into people who are sowing into you. I'm not saying don't check on the people who you don't like, too tough, and who you're not as happy about, and who you're not as crazy about. But what I'm saying is sow into the people who check in on you, sow into the people who want to see you win. Give them the same love and energy that they're giving you, because trust and believe, there's a synergy and an energy, as I explain to you all the time, that goes with that you'll see the results of. You'll see those positive things and those wonderful things happening in your world and in your life. You'll see those moments when seemingly you're at your wits' end, but all of a sudden some miracle seems to come through at the very last moment to get you over the hump or to get you past whatever situation you feel like you're caught up in. That is because you put that in the universal bank, as Talent says, and the universal bank is keeping count. It doesn't always pay out the same way that you put it in. So don't look for it to do that. Look for it and say to yourself, I did this because in my heart and my spirit said that I should do this. And because I was able to do that, I'm going to let it go and I'm going to move on to whatever my next thing is. Because as you move on to those things, as you find yourself and find that footing, trust and believe that next step will come. I know some of us, we're afraid, entrepreneurial spirit is big amongst our community and big amongst us. And you get scared. I don't know. There's, I can't find a way. I'm not sure if this is going to work out. It's always going to work out. You know why? Because you took the step, you took the chance, and doing those things are what is going to allot you and afford you the ability to take the next step. But you got to see, you got to believe it, you got to know it, you got to own it. That's hard for some of us to do at times, myself included. Like I told y'all, you guys motivate me by allowing me to come on here every week and give y'all whatever tools and information I can that put y'all in a space so that y'all can move forward. In doing that, that empowers me. So we're feeding off of each other. I need y'all to know that this isn't one side or the other. This is therapy and energy that I need, just like y'all need, I hope. And I find that when we're sending each other those little snippets, the little funny videos, we're sending each other positive things that we find on the internet and in these various platforms. Those are things that help all of us continue to prosper. Those are things that help all of us continue to go forward and be those amazing human beings that God intended for us to be, or whatever your higher power of being is. I tell people that because I don't want anybody to feel like you got to get stuck in this mind frame and mindset that because you grew up this way or because you had certain ideologies that were taught to you in a specific way, that you still have to utilize those and follow them. You have to figure out ways and things that keep you in the spaces that you need to be and keep you moving forward the way that you need to move. That is for you to figure out. That is for you to move forward with. That is for you to totally use in your circles. Because when you start to use them in your circles, then those people become that much more familiar with you. And now you have that back and forth. It's imperative that we really understand how powerful that back and forth is. It's not a one sided thing. And here's my thing, because I know sometimes we hear things like, get rid of the users and this and that and the third. Look, I get it. We get people in our lives. You know why why you have users too? Because you have some people who just aren't strong enough to figure that out for themselves just yet. But what they're doing is learning from you. I know that that doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem like that's right all the time because you're like, but this person never changes. There's some people who's never going to grow. What you need to do is understand that though and still move past that. And that's not easy to do because for most of us, we've been taught, well, if somebody's taking advantage of you, kick them to the curb, this, that, the third. I'm not saying allow anybody to abuse you and all that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have some people who, fortunately or unfortunately, they just don't know how to stand on their own. They're just not strong enough. They don't have that kind of training. They don't have that fortitude. They don't have that kind of of support system. They don't have that kind of village. So you have to weed those people out, understand who they are and why they're there, accept them for who they are and why they're there. And then what I tend to do is I allow those people to be in my space when I allow them to be in my space. I don't totally shut them out or shut them down. I just pick and choose when I need to utilize that energy, because each and every one of y'all who tune in here every week, y'all are energy. I'm energized off of y'all, just like hopefully y'all are energized off of me. That's what this Motivational Monday is always about. Us motivating each other by the beautiful pictures we post, by the beautiful things we send one another, by the congratulations and all the things in between. The daily messages, if we send in daily messages to each other, the messages every other day, all of that adds up to us being able to be super duper connected and looking for the celebrations and the wins. So, as always, it's Monday. I encourage you to find the things that motivate you, find the things that make you feel positive about how this whole thing goes. And as always, I say this and I mean this. It's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. Y'all take that into your day. You take that with y'all every week. You take that with you in everything that you do. And I promise you, you'll see all kind of doors opening and all kind of wonderful things happening for you that you seemingly won't be able to explain, but you'll know why. I love each and every one of y'all. It's Monday. Y'all have a great, great week. And you know how we do. We'll see you on Friday. Love each and every one of y'all. Everybody have a great one.